Hi everyone, the Crafty Atelier, Angela's here with a doll repaint. I'm going to be using my Rochelle doll that I've had in my closet for many years. These are the colors that were available and y'all picked pink. Okay, so I have the yarn for the hair here. The yarn pole is still up right now. But right now the pink is winning, which is nice because that's the one I was leaning towards as well. But this is what I found at Joann's for the pastel garden room. I believe that these colors actually suit it really well. And I'll put a picture here to show you what the room looks like. So this is our reference that we're going off of. So I have tulle. I had to get 2 yards of everything because Joann's won't cut anything smaller. So I have 2 yards of each of these things now. So I have just plain white. I have this like really pastel baby pink color. I have this cream color. It looks a little bit orange, but it's actually like almost like a really pale coral. It looks a lot like this one. So that's the pinks against it. So it looks a lot like this one. And then I have this like satin stretch jersey that I found, which is really pretty. So this will probably be the base. This will probably be the fluff out like underneath. And I'm thinking like a little fairy dress. And I'll put some reference photos of what I'm looking at. We'll see if I can actually do it. And I'll put them right here. So we'll see how it goes. So here I just did her hair just like that. It's just brushed yarn. So here's the first layer, and you guys know I do the first layer first, and because it just gives me a lot of anxiety. So here are the wings. I do like the wings and how they turned out. I give her some body blushing. I give her those little finger wrinkles for the knuckles. And then I do some shading, and she does get some sage fingernail polish at the end. So I tried doing a few different techniques for this one, just because I wanted to see if there was something that could like up my game in the face up of these dolls. And I think I did okay. I really like how it turned out, don't get me wrong. But some of the techniques that I tried, I probably won't keep in my repertoire. What I did was I used water with the pencil. So either I dipped the pencil in water and just used that, or I used just some water on a brush and I just, got it from the pencil itself, or I just used some watercolor paints on my brush. And I don't know, I can give or take some of it. But yeah, so I use some pastels as well for the eyes, some acrylic watercolor-ish paint that I have. And I didn't care for that so much, so I probably won't be using that again. But the pencils, of course, are always my go-to for face-ups. And I think it turned out pretty good. I used a different technique to put some lines in the eyes with a lighter watercolor, and I think it turned out pretty good. I really like how the lips came out as well. I used the watercolor pencil on my brush type technique, and I think it turned out pretty good. I used some pastels on her eyebrows and I shaped them and just used some pencil on that. I didn't really go too ham on those. But I did go pretty ham on like the face texture and the freckles. So I really like how it did end up. I really do. I really like this color scheme of pink and this like sage green. I think it's beautiful. So I think she turned out great. I hope you guys do too. On her eyebrows, on the ends, I did make them a little bit pink, and I just gave her some brown eyebrows. I didn't want to give her like fully pink eyebrows. So yeah, I really like how she turned out. I wanted her to have this like almost sun-kissed look, but very, you know, bedroomy kind of eyes. Because this is what we're going off of, is that picture in the beginning that you saw. So it's like a bedroom motif. So I want to give her like some bedroom eyes, and I really like how they turned out. I really like the face texture, really, really like that. I gave her some veins in the beginning, more green undertones than blue or red. For her face, you can see kind of like near the bridge of her nose, it's kind of green. And like on the temple, it's a little bit more green. So I like how that turned out. Just a little bit different kind of shading. So what I can say is that I really do like how she turned out. Even though she did give me some problems, especially with the weather and MSC. There were, like on her chest, I accidentally scraped it with my nail and it came off. But it's not that bad, and it's not noticeable, except for me. Like, I can see it if I'm really looking hard. But, of course, you guys know I like the shimmer, so I put some shimmer on. She's just a little magical fairy girl. So, this is where I tried doing eyelashes multiple times. You guys don't get to see it, but I got to see it. For the brown, I went with brown acrylic, not acrylic, watercolor in the tube, and I really like how they turned out. They're a bit softer, and I like that. So just a little bit easier handed than I normally am. So yeah, I think it turned out really fluffy. You all will see my fabric choices, and then not see any of the process of the clothing, because I honestly had to sew this onto her. So even I didn't see the final result until it was done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more. Yeah, and I'm going to just let you guys kind of just watch the rest of it. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys. Okay, so this is what I'm working with. I have tons of this furry fabric that I've never done anything with, and it looks a lot like the peachy coral color here in person. So I'm going to use this as like a capelet. This will be like an overdress, and this will be all of the fluff out. These will be shoes and maybe a bag and a corset, maybe. I don't know yet. And these are some patterns that I had just in my stash. They were from discarded Monster High clothes or whatever. I'm gonna mod some of them, and yeah, just my measuring tape. And then I'm gonna use this operetta. She has a sway back, and the Rochelle that I have does not. So she was a little bit newer version of this one. So the sway back was not so prominent. So this is what I have though. So I'm going to work with it, and we'll see what we get. So I am just going to do this because this video is getting so long. I'm going to just snap my fingers.